Hello, my dear students. So our lesson for today is all about fables. But first, can you define what fable is? Anyone from the class? Yes, Mr. De Los Reyes? Very good. You know what? A fable is a fictitious narrative or statement, such as legendary stories, in which animals can speak and act like human beings. So before we go on in our discussion proper, let me share you an example of fables. But you need to use your imagination in order for you to visualize the stories that I will going to tell to all of you. Do I make myself clear? So without further ado, let us all get started. This fable is entitled The Struggling Long-Beaked Bird. One fine morning, there is a Carabao near from the river who is resting from his tough work in the ranch. He used his leisure time to recharge his body through eating grasses that was given by his boss. Aside from that, he also enjoyed the moment by splashing water in the river, but his actions are limited because of the rope that was fastened on his body. Subsequently, he halted for a while and observed the environment. What is happening in our environment? He suddenly asked himself. Then he realized that our environment that was sources of foods were explicitly destroyed because of the abusive activities of humankind. He also noticed that due to the lack of resources, there are competitions between organisms in catching food in order for them to survive. On his in-depth realization, he unexpectedly heard a bird who seems like struggling and asking for help. "Don't! Can someone give me some help?" the bird whispered. He searched where the voice came from, and after quite some time, he saw an exhausted bird in a dry tree. At first, the Carabao was so oblivious on the reason why the bird comes up so tired. But later on, he understood that maybe because there's no such food to be eaten by the bird that makes him so weary and kinda like starved to death. He was so worried to the bird, but he can't do anything yet because of the rope that was fastened on his body is too short. Plus, the mere fact that the bird cannot fly any longer due to the starvation. Maybe the bird wasn't able to compete with other predators. That's why he grieved with this kind of situation. Out of compassion, the Carabao did not please to just watch the bird mourned. Without a doubt, he tried to save the bird even though he doesn't know him. As for the Carabao, he will not just save the bird just to look cool in front of him, but because he believed that it was his responsibility to help those species who are in need. "I'm gonna help you, my friend," the Carabao said. Basically, in spite of the hardship faced by the Carabao in order to help the bird, he did not lose his hope. Instead, it made him eager to save the bird. He exerted his strength in order to loosen the rope, and at the same time, he splashed water in the river that makes the bird notified that someone wants to help him. The Carabao cued the bird to fly over his back, despite of the truth that the bird cannot fly any longer. But then, he trusted the Carabao and dauntlessly used his inadequate energy to fly over the back of the Carabao. "Use your strength to fly over my back," the Carabao shouted. "Okay," the bird replied and bravely fly over the back of the Carabao. Unexpectedly, they did it. The Carabao offered some food to the bird that makes the bird survive from his situation. However, the bird noticed that there are organisms on the back of the carabaos that makes him uncomfortable for a long time. Hence, the bird did not doubt to use his long beak in order to remove the organism on his back. Understandably, they helped each other in unexpected circumstance. After that, they became best of friends amid variety, and they lived cheerfully by helping each other without expecting in return. Who would have thought that by just simple act of kindness, you can save someone's life that can probably help you too at some point, they uttered. So that's the end, and I'm hoping that everyone have learned something from the fable, and always remember that we should always help someone who is in need without expecting in return. So this has been your teacher, Joshua Dangalan Ferolino. Thank you, and God bless.